Is Mullen Automotive going bankrupt? In this video, I will make the case as to why I believe that Mullen Automotive, ticker symbol MULN stock, is gonna go bankrupt. The share price is at 13.5 cents a share, for crying out loud. I'll give you guys 4 reasons why I believe it's gonna go bankrupt, so make sure you like this video. Guys, I get thousands of views on my videos and a few hundred likes. Just like the dang video, it takes a second, it'll really help the channel out. Now let's get started. So a lot of big things happened in Mullen Automotive since my last video. One of the biggest things is that their CEO, Chief Accounting Officer, Carrie Sadler, just resigned on March 6th. Now, this is the person who does all the accounting for the company, and this can potentially be a big red flag, especially because this comes a few days after the auditing company that Mullen Automotive works with also just resigned without any reason. And this begs the question, what is going on with Mullen Automotive's accounting department? What is going on? What do they know that we don't know? What do they see that we don't see? One potential theory has to do with Mullen Automotive's acquisition of Bollinger Motors, whatever it's called. Now, this deal was very odd. Let me tell you why. So this deal, Mullen Automotive was going to acquire Bollinger Motors for $107 million in cash and around $40 million in stock options. Now, what's weird is that in their financials, Mullen Automotive received $40 million from Bollinger Motors. That's really odd. Now, there are 2 reasons I can think of why this would happen. Either this was a very big accounting error, almost like a typo, which, a public company the size of Mullen, they should be ashamed of themselves. Or Mullen Automotive was trying to artificially inflate the price of the asset for marketing purposes, make it sound like a humongous deal when it really wasn't, and then receive the cash on the back end. They advertise it like it's a $150 million deal, actually receive a lot of cash on the back end, but what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. And by the way, only about $30 million ever actually left Mullen Automotive. Makes you think. Reason number 2 as to why I believe Mullen Automotive will inevitably go bankrupt is because of their stock price. As low as their stock price was, it's down another almost 20% since last week. Now, this is very problematic and concerning because there are a variety of reasons why this could have happened. Perhaps David Michery once again diluted the stock price, probably sold shares that are worth millions and millions of dollars. Or it can be investors that are finally opening their eyes to the scam and selling out because they don't believe in the company anymore. Problem is, if Mullen Automotive is a legitimate company and they're actually trying to produce a Mullen 5, then they need a lot of cash. Where's this cash coming from? They certainly can't dilute the price of the stock much more. They certainly don't have the cash on hand. So how exactly are they planning to produce and manufacture the Mullen 5? This brings me to reason number 3 as to why I believe Mullen Automotive will be going bankrupt soon. David Michery, the CEO of Mullen Automotive, just put out a statement yesterday. And this was huge news for me because unfortunately, David Michery's LinkedIn and Twitter has had investors really upset. Everyone has been complaining about how poor his communication has been. And quite frankly, I haven't seen him on an interview for a very long time. I haven't seen a statement from him for a very long time. This is not a good look for a CEO. So let's go over what his statement said. In this statement, he aims to address a lot of investor inquiries. First of all, he mentions how Mullen Automotive plans to deliver their first EV Class 1 cargo vans at the end of March. Now, he says this is in reference to the Randy Marion Isuzu deal, which is valued at around $200 million. It's for 6,000 Class 1 EV trucks. However, I will say that just because they will start delivering by end of March does not mean that they're going to be delivering 6,000 vehicles worth $200 million by the end of March. So we literally have no idea how many vehicles they're delivering in March. It could just be 1 vehicle. It's not worth anything, right? So we really need to know how many vehicles they plan on delivering each month, and that will give us a rough idea of the cash flow. Moving on, David Michery says that Mullen Automotive has $87 million cash on hand and expect to receive $110 million in cash commitments by June. That's like about 2.5 months from here. And he believes that like $200 million will last them for the next 12 months. Now, again, this is very problematic for me. So, and what are their plans for the end of this year? They plan on delivering the Class 1 EV vehicles and the Class 3 EV vehicles. That's going to be to the end of this year. So if $200 million will only last them 1 year, then what's next? How does David Michery plan to raise more money? He certainly can't dilute the stock price much more than it already is. He certainly can't go to banks and investors to ask for more money. Interest rates are super high. Also, with the Silicon Valley Bank crashing and a few other banks crashing, a lot of investors are not going to easily give away their money like that, especially to a startup company that doesn't really have their own product. They're doing just arbitrage, and also to a company that's not even profitable yet. Investors are going to think twice before investing into companies like this. In fact, I would even go as far as saying that not only is Mullen Automotive not profitable, it's the opposite. It's a cash burning machine. So what can Mullen Automotive do to raise money? Perhaps they can sell used cars. Guys, I kid you not, I saw a picture of Mullen Automotive in one of their dealerships in California, literally selling used cars. Now, why are they doing this? A company this big that prides itself in their EV technology, their best-in-class battery, surely selling used cars is beneath them. They could be using their time and money into investing, into building facilities. Why are they selling used cars? It's a waste of their time. They should be researching technologies. Or maybe, just maybe, they should be using their time and money producing and manufacturing the MULN 5. Oh wait, they can't do that. It takes cash. For reference, let me tell you guys something. Lucid Motors spent about $700 million to build their EV factory. Tesla spent 5 to 10 billion with a B to build the gigafactories. Rivian spent around 5 billion or plans to spend around $5 billion in their manufacturing facility. And by the way, Rivian cars are actually built in America. Just saying. So how does a company like Mullen Automotive, who barely has any cash on hand, expect to produce cars? Their $200 million is dwindling in the next 12 months. How do they expect to produce cars? And I didn't even get to the part about profitability, by the way. So in case you haven't heard, companies like Lucid Motors and Rivian, their cars are beautiful in my opinion. However, they're not profitable. These companies are losing billions with a B every year. In fact, Elon Musk has even said that if Rivian and Lucid go on this track, they're going to go bankrupt in a few years. So I guess I ask you, where does that leave Mullen Automotive and their CEO who's known for bankrupting companies? I'll leave that up to you. See you guys in the next video.